Hi, it's Matt from Go Green Autos. So this is my follow-up video on the Wallbox Pulsar Plus. I've been meaning to make this video for some months, so I apologise to those who have been waiting for my follow-up review video. This unit's installed in the back of the workshop here. You'll have to ignore that it's slightly crooked, but I replaced an existing charger that had an intermittent fault, so I utilised the holes which were already in the blockwork, and this conduit was supplying the previous charger. So it's not the prettiest installation, but hey, it's inside a workshop, so it doesn't matter. The Wallbox is very small. As you can see, it's only the size of my hand. They are the smallest wall chargers out there, and ideal if you don't want a big ugly box on the outside of your house. But because they're so small, there's not enough room for a Type 2 socket on there, so they are tethered chargers only. And this is a 7 kilowatt single phase one, so you have a 5 metre cable. The 22 kilowatt 3-phase models have the option of a 5 or a 7 metre, but the single phase 5 metre only. And then obviously your other end, you've got the choice of a Type 2 plug like this or a Type 1. And then you get a holster, which is just simply a bit of moulded plastic, and it's got a hook up there which utilises the hole in the top of the connector. That's your hole that the car drops a pin down in to lock the cable into the car, and that just hooks up in there to use the holster there. And the other thing is the shape of the charger is tapered, so if you want to coil your cable around, you can do that. And you've also got a rubberized cap on the end to protect the plug, so if you're coiling the cable up, then you would ideally want to keep the rubber plug on the end, but obviously if you're going to use the holster all the time, then the rubber plug doesn't really have any use. As this is a Type 2 tethered cable and I need to charge all type of electric vehicles, I then bought this adapting cable, and that adapts the Type 2 end of the tethered cable to a Type 1 end to charge Nissan Leafs, Kia Souls and early Renault Kangoo. While this is a smart charger, and of course it has to be to qualify for the OLEV grant, what I really like about it is by default it acts as a dumb charger, so no need to use an app or any setup. You just get your cable, come to the car, plug it in, and it starts charging, and there we go, it is now charging. So for the majority of the time where you don't need to use any of the smart functions, it's just a plug and go, and it's just a dumb charger. I also like the fact that their cable is thinner. So it is 32 amp cable, that's a 7 kilowatt 32 amp charger, but their cable is quite a bit thinner than other people's, and because of that it's more flexible and easier to coil and just generally easier to use. So you've got this large light ring around the front which shows you the status of the charger. So it's green when it's just sitting there not in use, as you saw just now. When it's plugged in it goes blue, and when it's charging the car it pulsates as it is now. And when the car's finished and it's just sat here connected but dormant, it goes a sort of a greeny turquoise colour. So let's talk about connectivity, because this is a smart charger after all. This uses both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, but what I really like about the Wallbox is it's not completely reliant on that Wi-Fi or internet connection to function. So what you do is you install the app on your phone and it connects to the charger via Bluetooth, and even if you don't have that data connection, you can still set up an overnight cheap rate tariff, so cheap rate charging if you want that. So maybe your charger is installed on a garage which is some distance away from the house and you're out of range of Wi-Fi. A lot of other chargers are completely reliant on that Wi-Fi and cloud connection to work, but this isn't. This will still function. What you lose if you don't have the internet connection is uploading of the charging stats to your cloud account and also remote connectivity. So the app uses Bluetooth to connect to the unit, which is the other nice thing about the Wallbox, is it doesn't need that Wi-Fi connection to work. So when we open up the app, we're presented with the Wallbox unit, and we can have multiple ones if we've got multiple chargers, and we can see there's my Wallbox and it says available, so we click on that and it now connects to that Wallbox behind, and we can see there it's connected at 32 amp. And this is a really simple app. There's not an awful lot to do in here, so I hope that's focusing okay. So the main functions is we can lock it. and we can see there the unit's now changed the colour on the lights, and that unit is now locked. So that's useful if you're not at the property during the day and you want to lock it out so no one else can use it. And then we've got the timer, and this is if you've got a cheap rate energy tariff and you want to set the thing up so it will only charge during that cheap rate band. And then we've got some energy stats. So to use these energy stats, it does need an internet connection, so it does need to be connected to Wi-Fi, and once it's connected to Wi-Fi it will then send all this charging information up to your cloud account, and then you can see some stats, and you can look at various graphs there to look at your energy consumption. And that's pretty much it. The nice thing is it's nice and simple. So let's just look at some of the other options under settings. So we've got charger information. That's just all the information about your wall box. That all appears when you sync it up for the first time. Under connectivity, this is where you connect your Wi-Fi up, and we've got Ethernet and 4G, but I don't think I have those options on mine. No, I don't, because it doesn't have that hardware built in. And then we've got upgrades. Under the upgrade there's a power boost option, so that's an option, a £99 option when you buy the wall box, and what that is it adjusts the charging speed depending on the load on the house, and that's particularly useful if you've got a house with quite a small supply, say a 60 amp supply, and you have this little unit that goes in your consumer unit, and that measures the load on the house at the time, and it will adjust the charging rate going to the car to compensate when there's a higher load on the house. So for example, in the evening you've got your washing machine on, you might have the cooker on, it will reduce the charging rate of the car if the car's trying to charge at the same time, and then later on at night when all your devices in the house are turned off and there's no demand from the house, then the charging rate of the car will go up, and that might be a better option than having your supply upgraded. But I haven't got that, and most people wouldn't. If you've got a 80 or 100 amp supply, you're not going to want that, unless of course maybe you've got multiple car chargers. And then under advanced options, this is where you can put your unit cost of your electricity for your reporting. And then the only other thing I'll just show you is under your account you've got notifications, and you do get notifications will ping back on your phone when your charging is finished. But of course that's only going to work if you've got Wi-Fi connectivity on your charger. But that's quite nice. However, the only thing that's not great is it only pings up on your home screen, and when you unlock your phone you do lose those notifications. So if you haven't seen them, there's no way you can go back into the app and see the notifications, but I have reported that to Wallbox, and I'm hoping they'll make that change soon. But basically it's a nice and simple app, and that's what I like about the unit. Is it's a plug and go dumb charger if you want it to be, but if you want the extra functionality, it's nice and easy, and it is Bluetooth only to use that, and you're not completely reliant on that data connection. If you want to buy a Wallbox Pulsar Plus, then go to wallbox.com, and all the information's on there, and they will also appoint their UK national installer to come and fit it for you. So if you've liked this video, please do click that thumbs up button on YouTube, because that really does help other people find this channel, and maybe subscribe, and obviously hit that bell icon to be notified when I upload a new EV related video. And there's plenty of EV videos there on the channel to have a look at.